Well, if there's one thing that you cannot blame Honda for, it is for being complacent and resting on its laurels. And the car maker has taken in keen feedback from its customers in the competitive entry mid-size segment and brought out this, the updated version of the Amaze. How good is it and what is it all about? We'll find out on the show today. Well, the Amaze has been in the Indian market now for around 2 years and it still looks modern and fresh. The overall design remains largely unchanged, so you get the big chrome grille up front with those cute looking bug eye headlamps. And even though it is well under 4 meters in length, it does look well balanced and proportioned compared to the rest of the rivals in this segment. Well, most entry sedan buyers go into this category simply because of the big boot, and the Amaze does impress in this department with 400 liters of space. And as you can see, it's a very nice and deep boot. It's one of the better boots in this category for sheer luggage carrying capacity, and the opening is pretty wide as well, and all that means is that the Amaze is truly amazing when it comes to boot capacity. Honda's principle of man maximum, machine minimum is clearly visible inside this cabin. In terms of practicality, it's an excellent place to be. You get two big bottle holders over here where you can of course keep that bottle. There's also one tray over here where you can keep your sunglasses or your cell phone at. Well, the door bins are also deep enough to house those big 1 liter bottles in them. Well, the biggest change inside the Amaze's cabin of course is the fact that you get an all black dashboard and only the glove box is in beige. Now this of course replaces the brown from the earlier version of the car, and Honda has done this because a lot of customers complained that brown used to reflect from the windscreen in hot summer. Well, in terms of quality, this car is at par with all its rivals in this segment. Well, in terms of ease of operation, the Amaze is truly brilliant and everything is clearly marked out, and these chunky buttons for the AC control are really easy to operate when you are on the go. Well, the biggest addition inside the cabin is this new navigation system. Now this is of course a GPS enabled navigation system, and it also doubles up as the stereo system when you are on the go. Well, the steering wheel on the Amaze adjusts for rake but not really for reach, but that is okay because the other cars in this segment also adjust only for rake. But you also get height adjustment for the seats, and that means that getting into a comfortable driving position is not a big issue. Well, even though the seats on the Amaze are pretty decent in terms of comfort as well as under thigh support, they aren't as good as the ones on the Maruti Swift Dzire, and Honda can clearly learn a thing or two from Maruti when it comes to front seat comfort and cushioning. Well, now let's go and check out the back seat, the place where most chauffeur-driven owners will be spending time at. Well, it's in the back seat department where the Amaze truly has the edge over all its rivals. As you can see, knee room is really generous, and I have adjusted the front seat for my driving position, and my height for reference is 5'10". Headroom is pretty decent as well. Well, the Amaze is a genuinely wide car at the back, and that makes it a proper 3-seater over here. And also the fact that the floor panel is very flattish means that whoever is sitting here in the middle seat has plenty of place to stretch his feet at. Well, if you want to improve comfort at the back even further, you can of course pull out this armrest and keep that Diet Coke can over here and just stretch out and relax. Well, Honda has given pockets behind the backrest of the front seats where you can of course put those files or those odds and ends. Even the door bins are wide and big enough to house those really big bottles. So overall, a great place for those long journeys. Well, so here I am driving the updated Amaze now, and this car of course comes with the 1.5 diesel engine as well as a 1.2 petrol. Now the diesel is the most powerful engine in its category. It develops about 99 bhp of power, and that of course makes it the most powerful car in its class. Well, where the diesel engine also excels is in fuel efficiency. Honda of course claim 25.8 kmpl for this engine, and going by our experiences with Honda diesel cars, we can of course rest assured that this engine will deliver solid efficiency. Well, the most visible change inside the Amaze's cabin now when you are driving the diesel engine is the fact that it feels like a more relaxed place to be in, and the engine is visibly more quieter than before, and all that means that this car now has become a very good car for cruising on that long highway trip. Well, where the Amaze also really excels is in the fact that power delivery from this diesel engine is very phenomenal. In fact, the mid-range really is the place to be at, and between 2000 and 4000 RPM there's a lot of torque available, and that really does propel this car ahead of that slow-moving vehicle in front of you. Well, the light steering wheel really does make easy work of driving around town, and you won't really have to labor too much while negotiating a tight corner, or in fact even when you are parking this car in, because the steering really is pretty light. But it's not overtly light like some of its rivals, like the Hyundai Accent for that matter, that you start feeling nervous when you are on the highway. Well, unlike some of its rivals, the Amaze doesn't tend to pitch or bob around when it sees a bad road surface, and that means that patchwork roads are taken care of with minimum fuss. Well, even though it's not an outright driver's car, but there is a little bit of fun to be had for people who enjoy driving and enjoy those long journeys, because the gearbox is a pretty slick unit, and after the Maruti Swift Desire, this in fact is the second best gearbox in this class. Well, the only visible negative on the Honda Amaze is the fact that it does not offer the same amount of features as the Hyundai Accent or even the Tata Zest. But that said, it has a lot of strengths up its sleeve. It comes with the most powerful diesel engine in its class, which also is high on fuel efficiency and has the best rear seat comfort in this category. All that with the trusted Honda badge up front really makes the Honda Amaze a very convincing buy in this entry mid-size segment.